Hello Sonu, how are you?
Good evening, sir. I'm myself fine, sir.
Right. कुछ बताइए अपने बारे में.
Sir, I am Sonu Kumar. I am from Patna, Bihar. I completed my 10th 12 from CBSE in my hometown in Bihar. I completed my graduation in mechanical engineering from MNIT Allahabad. I have done summer training at NTPC Bar, Bihar. I have done projects on the design and development of human hand prosthesis. And I also have been the member of an academic content writer in the year 2019 to 2021. And for the past 3 years, I have been preparing for the engineering service and various competitive exam related to mechanical engineering and the GATE exam. My hobby is photography and watching cricket, and this is all about me.
Okay. Sonu, so I'm able to see in your form that you have been the monitor of school from class 5 to 12. You have also been got appreciation for first position in class 12. Then you made it to NIT Allahabad. Okay, so looks like you have been good in academics for so long. Okay. But still, you have been attempting engineering services from 2019, right? That is the year you passed out, if I'm not right, if I'm not wrong. 2019 you passed out.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And that time you have written the prelims. 2020 also you written the prelims. 2021 you reached interview, and last year also again you were stopped at prelims. So just my general question is, ki your profiles in school looks academically sound. So what happened? Why you're not able to get into the engineering services? What is not going right these days?
Sir, in 2019, I am not able to convert because I am not aware of the syllabus. This one the first time. After that, I got studied various prelims and mains together. So the first achievement was that I qualified for the ESE and the main simultaneously in the 2021.
Okay.
After that, in the 2022, I have been selected in HPCL. My medical has been done at that time, and after that, when the final list is prepared, I'm out. So I have left the preparation at that time because I think that I have been selected and medical has been done. But in HPCL, it's the case that you even if you get medical, then you will be rejected. I came to know at that time. So in 2022, I am not able to clear the prelims, and in 2023, I have given a lot of effort, and also I am too optimistic about the result because my mains examination also goes well. So I hope this time I will clear the ESE.
Okay. So good to know about your spirit, Sonu. So basically, you also mention your hobby as photography and cricket, watching cricket. Okay, what
Yes.
sort of photography?
So generally I used to photography like a portrait photography and the wide angle photography. And these usually when I go to a cafe or any restaurant, I used to do the photography. And whenever there is a wedding in my family or any function, I do the photography for the same. And also when I visit with my family or friends in nearby tourist place, then I do photography.
Uh, you also like to watch cricket, right?
Yes, sir.
Must be knowing, the team which has won the most World Cups.
ODI?
Yeah, World Cup ODIs.
Yes, Australia.
Okay, how many times?
5 times.
Can you also tell me two or three internationally known teams? They've been, very well recognized team, but not able to made it to the World Cup. I mean, don't give me the
Sir,
name of Nepal and all. I mean, you're able to understand my question?
I'm sure I understand your question. First one is South Africa. I'm very disappointed that he will only reach the semi-final. It got out and given the name of the choker. And the second one is New Zealand. So he has also not been in the part of the ODI World Cup final.
Okay. So very soon, the ODI World Cup for 2023 is about to start. Okay. What are the chances of our country? What do you feel?
They are very fairly chance for our country because the first of all the it is being hosted in our country, so the condition India being the familiar of, also the support from our audience. And when we look our the team has been announced, it is a well balanced team. We consist of a lot of batsmen and a mixed all rounder and spinners, mostly Kuldeep Yadav, and There's a fair chance for Akshar Patel or his replacement. And coming to fast bowling, we have the better fast
Team is
bowlers.
balanced, team is fine, players are okay, but the performance is not being reflected in the overall past 1 year. If I see, they're not performing, the similar team is not able to perform that great as it can. So, what are the specific reasons for that?
Uh, So generally, I have noticed that India perform do not able to perform when it outside the home, like when it moves to Australia or any outside pitch where the fast bowling condition they are not used of. So this might be the reason. Also, there be the reason for that they are playing only for T20. Only short. They are not playing 50 over for a long time. So I think this might be the reason that there is maybe failure for last 1 year.
What is your opinion on IPL? Is it helping to grow our international cricket, or is it an obstruction to it?
Sir, one thing I would like to say that with the introduction of IPL, we have got many talented players because I remember in 2011, 18, 2005, they were only the same team combination playing, whether it will out on duck or not. But now there are only few chances for a player like we have Sonu Kumar Yadav and Tilak Verma recently in the team. If you do not perform in 1 or 2 matches, then you will be out because already there are many players sitting. So IPL has
Is it,
improved the
but is it
competition.
good that if you get a chance for 1 or 2 match, you're not able to perform? Maybe you're really good, but you're always under the pressure कि यार आज नहीं खेले तो the chance is gone. So is it really good or not?
Sir, but I have looked at the management that they are mostly giving at least 5 chances I would like to mention a cricketer like Sanju Samson. He has been given a lot of chances, but unfortunately not able to perform, and people often speak that why he's not getting the chance. So this is not the concern that they are not getting chances. They are getting chances.
Dheeraj sir, over to you. Sir, I think you are mute, Dheeraj sir.
Now I'm audible?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Sonu. So what is Gibbs phase rule?
Gift will have to find the degree of the freedom for a particular stage in a material science or thermodynamics. In thermodynamics, we have modified it schedule as the pressure is constant, but in case of thermodynamics, we taken the two variables, pressure and temperature.
Pressure and temperature. Why not volume?
Well, we generally study about the control fixed volume analysis. So volume has to be remain constant. Otherwise, the study will be completely difficult and completely difficult.
Is there not like any what do you have definition in your mind of degree of freedom?
It is a number of independent variables required to define the state of a system.
Actually, there is the problem. It is independent intensive variable. So volume is extensive.
Yes.
That's why volume is not considered. Okay. So what is the difference between thermodynamic and mechanical cycles?
Thermodynamics deal with the heat magnitude of heat transfer, while the cycles represent the how the process has been performed from point 1 to 2.
So let me make the question easier for you. If I ask you, there is a Rankine cycle, okay, there is a Otto cycle, there is a fuel air cycle. How you will categorize these cycle? Which one is thermodynamic? Which one is mechanical?
I'm not.
Okay. So when we are talking about theories of failures,
Yes.
so theories of failure, if I ask you why we require theories of failures?
The theory of failure are required because we have the stresses in the three direction. That's why we require the theory of failure.
So why in 3 dimension? What is the problem?
If there is only one dimension, then by using maximum permissible limit, we will calculate the factor of safety. But if the force stress developing along the three direction, So for that, we developed a formula so that the equivalent stress can be calculated by using the formula if they are in three direction.
So, but why we have calculated a formula by making a formula without any experimental, without anything? We have made a formula. How it is applicable then?
So it is applicable by using the principal stress along the three direction, calculating the principal stress and equating to permissible limit.
What is permissible stress?
It is the maximum stress beyond which the material will fail.
So from where you are calculating that?
Uh,
From where you are calculating that?
SYT for the material will remain constant, but we have to equate the for different theory of failure. We calculate the formula less than equal to SYT by N, and correspondingly we can design the diameter of the shaft.
So why factor of safety is required in real life?
Factor of safety required first of all for considering the safety because there are many conditions that do not satisfy the design. For example, to search for safer condition, we should design factor of safety so that it would give you safety and so that it can be run for a longer period of time and give reliability too. When the different fatigue stress acting on.
Okay. So if I ask you about atomic hydrogen welding,
Yes.
what is that?
In atomic hydrogen building, first of all, H2 disintegrate into H plus two ions, and these are too unstable. When they combine again together, they release a large amount of energy, and this energy can melt the metal and join the work.
So you are giving some energy in the form of arc to break hydrogen.
Yeah.
Then hydrogen is combining, giving energy. You are using that for welding purpose.
Yes.
Why not you are using the same energy by which you are breaking the hydrogen into the welding? Why hydrogen is coming into picture? This is increasing our work unnecessarily. You are breaking the hydrogen, the hydrogen are joining. Overall, once again have hydrogen. So what is the purpose of all this?
Whatever be the energy that we obtain after the combination of hydrogen will be large as compared to whatever we supplied for
then what about energy conservation? That is, I feel if that would be possible, then the best work is that. Why we need any job? We don't need any. Sit at home, break hydrogen, they will automatically combine. You are spending 100 joules, they will give you 200 joules. Collect that energy and everything. Because energy, if you are able to generate, what better than that is possible then? In your home itself, you will make a thermal power plant.
So there will be loss in the environment also.
And also there is no benefit of hydrogen. No? Okay, you also mentioned that you have worked for some content creation. For which subjects you were working?
Sir, I've been working for the fluid mechanics and strength of material.
Okay, so when we talk about Bernoulli equation is valid for only irrotational fluids, or it is valid for rotational fluids as well?
Sir, it is valid for both the fluids, rotational and irrotational, but in case of rotational, it is only applicable along the streamline. But in case of irrotational flow, it is applicable anywhere in the tube.
Okay, section to section.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so whenever, as you said, strength of material also you have worked upon. So if I will ask you, like when you study the thermal stresses, in the thermal stresses, if there is a case of pre-expansion, their stress is zero.
Yes, sir.
Stress is zero in free expansion. Strain is present or not?
Yes, sir, it will be present.
Why when stress is not there?
Stress will be present only when there is internal resistance developed in the body. As the material is free to expand, There will be no internal resistance, so stress will be given.
So when you are giving the temperature, why internal resistance is not there? When I said free expansion, I want you to say there is no outside. I'm not giving any restriction from outside. But you said internal restriction is not there. So by increasing temperature, how internal resistance is affecting? Okay, over to you, sir.
Okay. Hello, Sonu.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Okay, I just saw like you are very into photography, right? Could you tell me what is the shutter speed?
Shutter is speed the amount of light that you want to amount of light that you want to enter into the camera.
Okay, so let us suppose if I'm decreasing shutter speed, what do you infer from that?
Sir, if we decrease the shutter speed, then less amount of light will be available to the camera, and this will be only applicable when there is a daylight condition, because sufficient light is available. We only allow less amount of light to be enter into the camera.
Okay.
But in case of the night, we give more time so that more
Okay.
amount of light.
And there's one more thing like ISO. What is that? Photography in camera, we are setting up the ISO, right? What is that?
Sir, ISO. I not exactly remember the complete.
Not the formula, just what is the purpose of using that ISO? We are altering the value of ISO according to the photography. Yes.
Suppose in the we have to obtain the clear image. Suppose in the dim light there, we have to keep the ISO as minimum as possible, so that maximum amount of light can be available, and there will be not any dazzling or any violence in the picture. But
fine. Now, if I talk about ISO standards, you might be heard about ISO standards, right?
yes,
Could you tell me in camera which ISO number we are actually following? Because you are into photography, so which ISO standard we are following?
the quality.
Which number? Like ISO 9000, 14,000?
9,000, sir, for quality.
For quality. But if I talk about camera, what is the ISO number that we are following? Okay, it's 9, I think. Okay. Now, let us talk about what is the difference between a truss and a frame?
Truss is which you use to support load, and there must be it is used to support load, but and also some have degree of freedom for it. But frame is a structure where my degree of freedom is equal to 0 or less than 0, negative.
Okay. Let us suppose there is a beam, right? I'm applying a force at the center. So do we have the axial forces being created, or the bending moment, or shear force?
For this only shear force and bending moment will be created.
Okay. So what do we call this arrangement? A truss or a frame, or a what do we call this one?
It would be truss.
It will be truss. Sure.
No, sir, truss. It will not be truss. Truss load is applied at the end or at the hinge. But in case of so, this might not be a truss.
Fine. So if you apply load at in between any member, so that will be considered like only axial forces, shear forces, or truss will be considered, or frame will be considered. What do we call this kind of arrangement? Is we're having a combination of members and we're applying forces at the midpoints.
A beam will be considered beam.
Beam. Then what is a frame?
Frame does not carry any force along with it.
Sure. Okay. Let's talk about heat transfer. You might have heard about emissivity, right? So let us suppose if you want to alter the emissivity of any body, what do we need to do? Do we need to remove or replace the material or any other possibility that from where you can alter the value of emissivity? I'm having a
By
yes.
polishing and
Polishing. Okay. With the polishing, what happens? Emissivity is increasing or decreasing?
emissivity will decrease.
Decrease. So that simply means the resistance will increase or decrease?
Resistance will increase.
Increase.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Because one layer will form and corresponding corresponding the resistance, that is formed resistance, will be developed between the two.
Okay. Now, what is a Hessler chart?
Hessler chart, when we not a BIOS number is very less than 0.1, here lump system analysis will be failed, and then in case of we have for different member like a pair, we have different charts to calculate the H value for that. Only when his BIOS number is greater than 0.1, where lump analysis failed.
Okay, so just now you told about biot number. So what's the difference between a biot and a Nusselt number, even though both are having the same formulation?
So in case of the BIOS number, it is the conductive resistance of both the solid due to convective resistance of solid. But in case of Nusselt number, it is the conductive resistance of solid divided by the conductive resistance of fluid.
Okay. You might have heard about eddy currents or eddy flows in fluid mechanics, eddy regions. What do you mean by that?
Eddy region is developed when the adverse pressure gradient dp by dx greater than 0, and it is the low pressure region in this, and here because of the low pressure region, fluid cannot move forward, and there is a separation of the fluid layer separation of fluid layer in.
Okay. You might have heard about different flow like laminar and turbulent. Which is more effective from efficiency wise?
Sir, we obviously the turbulent flow will be efficient because here the transportation velocity will be more, and corresponding whatever with the and it will be easily flow in the pipe through so there will be loss of energy because of the intermixing of the fluids, but efficiency.
Are we not having like in laminar flow, the losses are very less, so that will be much more appropriate rather than using a turbulent flow?
But the speed is less, so corresponding time taken will be more. So this will affect our cost study.
Okay. What is, let us suppose, a difference between a centroid and a center of gravity?
Centroid is concerned with the geometrical shape or area, and here we calculate where the entire we have, in case of CG, centroid of gravity, we consider where the entire mass is concentrated. It is generally a volume. We consider volumetric analysis, but in case of we have considered about area analysis. In case of the moment centroid.
Yeah, can we say centroid and center of gravity will be same? If it is same, then what could be the condition?
This could be when symmetry, homogeneous material, and isotopic material.
Okay, fine. If I talk about your inversions, you might have heard about inversions, right?
Yes.
Could you let me know what is a practical application of your double slider mechanism where we are using this?
The double slider mechanism, first, if the connecting rod is fixed, then we use for elliptical, if the elliptical trammel, Scotch-Yoke mechanics, and the Oldham coupling. Okay,
you have told about Oldham's coupling. What is a practical application of that?
Oldham coupling, when we want to connect the two shafts that is having the lateral misalignment.
Okay.
Or driver to driven ratio is 1:1.
Okay. We could have used gear system instead of that. Why to go for Oldham's coupling? We can definitely transmit power between two offset shafts by using gears. then why we are additionally using an Oldham's coupling? You could have gone for that only.
So gears would obviously occupy more spaces, and then coupling.
Sure. If the two distances are same, I think you won't be taking more space. The distance is same for between the two shafts. Then
I'm not aware.
okay. Let us suppose you want to transmit power between two shafts which are inclined. So what would be the best possible way to transmit power?
If you're inclined, sir, we go for a spiral gear.
Okay.
And a 90-degree inclination, then bevel gears also.
Fine. You might have heard about worm and worm gear.
Yes, sir.
What's the speciality about that?
That is for the high speed reduction ratio. If you want to attend, then you can use from worm and worm.
Okay. Is there any other speciality about worm and worm wheel?
And they are non-intersecting, non-parallel.
Okay. What about the power transmission, like unidirectional or multidirectional?
I remember. So it is unidirectional.
Unidirectional. Any practical examples where we are using this worm and worm wheel? Any real life application you might have come across? Okay, one last question. You are using the cameras, like so we are having DSLR camera, I think, right? You are using that.
No,
so what
sir,
the
I have
yes.
I have mirrorless camera.
Okay, so what's the difference between like we are having a wildlife photography and we are having a normal photography, like a person who's standing? So what is the difference in that? Is there a difference in the cameras that we are using or lenses?
Wide angle. Sir, talking of sir,
Yes.
in case of wide angle, we would cover larger area instead of
No, I'm talking about wildlife, like nature, if you are taking a photography. And second one is you are into a function, in marriage function, you are taking the photography.
yes.
So what's the difference of cameras that you'll be using?
There are difference of the lenses that are used for wildlife photography, as we have to shoot animals. So we use for telescopic lenses, use focal length is more, so that we can give at a distance, far distance, so we can use. For this, we have 201 mm focal length can be used. But in wedding photography, as the object is nearer to us, so we can use small focal length, like 50 mm focal length will give the better picture.
Okay, that's it from my side, sir. Abhinav, sir.
Hi, Sonu.
Hi, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Sonu, what is the difference between spin and swing?
Spin and swing. Spin is about the rotation of the body about its own axis, but swing is the deviation where the ball has been put, kept on the ground and deviates.
Okay. Sonu, where the boiling point of water will be more? It will be more in Shimla or it will be more in Goa?
So, boiling point of water will be more in Goa, sir.
The reason?
Because in Shimla, as we move higher, the corresponding pressure will decrease, and the temperature will also decrease.
Temperature increase, then boiling point should be more. Okay, so boiling atmospheric pressure will be more in Goa. So the water vapors that are coming, it will be difficult from them, na? Because pressure is more. So water vapors, it will be tough for them to evacuate the surface. That is why it is more in Goa. Now my second question, that why atmospheric pressure is more in Goa and why atmospheric pressure is less in high altitudes like Shimla, Leh Ladakh, Everest?
Because temperature decreases as we move up in the higher, so corresponding to temperature, pressure will be corresponding the pressure will be less as higher.
Okay, can you give me example of a thixotropic fluid?
So I will picture sir, toothpaste.
Okay. And an example of a dilatant fluid.
Blood.
Okay. Sonu, there is a simply supported beam loaded by UDL. Simply supported beam loaded by a downward UDL. And due to this, what will be the bending stress at support at the top fibers? Cross section is rectangular, means basic question, simply supported, downward UDL, cross section is rectangular. Now at support at the top fiber, at support you will be having rectangular section everywhere. So at support at the top fiber, it will be, the bending stress will be compressive or tensile?
Sir, it will be compressive.
It will be compressive.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes, sir. When the load is acting downward, then at the uppermost fiber, it will be compressive.
At support.
At support. So it depends upon which supports are left or right.
Left or right में क्या फर्क पड़ेगा? Right support, चलो.
Support not.
Bending stress is m by I into y ना?
Yes, sir.
Father is m ना, कौन पैदा कर रहा है इनको? M is 0. Bending stress है ना, it is not the axial ना, तो father is m ना, m is 0 at the support, so bending stress either top bottom it will be 0. Okay. What is the Young's modulus of a rigid material?
Young modulus of the rigid.
22.63.
Sir, rigid material young modulus.
नहीं होता, गलत पूछ लिया. अच्छा, what is the definition of Young's modulus? Stress by strain?
Yes.
What is the strain? What is the strain?
Zero, infinity.
Infinity. So answer will be infinity. Young's modulus is also the slope of stress strain curve.
Yes.
So the slope there is 90 degree. So tan 90 is infinity. Got it?
Yes.
Okay. Beside you there is a wall, correct?
Yes.
That wall might be going with the compressive loads. The strain can be measured with the strain rosette, correct? Or strain gauge.
Yes.
Now my question is, for the loads that are applied on the wall, the strain will be in micrometers, 10 to the power minus 6 micrometers, or it will be, strain will be in 3 meter, 4 meter. What will be the strain range? It will be in micrometers or meters?
Sir, 10 to the power minus 6.
Sure.
Oh, sir, I remembered while calculation it should be 177 to 10 to the power minus
10 to the power minus 6, है ना? It will be 10 to the power minus 6 micrometer. What is the unit of strain?
A strain dimensionless.
Dimensionless. Then how it will be micrometer or meter? Got it?
It is order of 10 to the power minus
Order of 10 to the power minus 6, and that order also depends on what is the, you are writing in ratio, you are writing in percentage.
If they 3 digits, then 300 digit, then it will be 10 to the power.
Yes. So क्वेश्चन गलत तो नहीं पूछ रहा मैं? अजीब अजीब आ रहा है क्या क्वेश्चन? अच्छा. Now Poisson ratio can be negative.
Yes, a Poisson ratio can be negative.
Can be negative for human tissues or soap polymers, correct?
Yes.
Poisson ratio negative means if longitudinal strain is positive, so lateral strain is also positive. Negative का feeling तो यही हुआ ना? Mu is minus lateral by longitudinal. So both the things has to be of same sign, then only the minus will be there and minus final value will be minus, correct?
Sir, if sir, repeat the question.
Mu be negative or not?
Yes, sir, it can be negative.
It can be negative for human tissues.
Yes.
So if mu is negative, that means if longitudinal strain is tensile or longitudinal strain it is increasing in longitudinal direction, so lateral direction it is also increasing.
Sir, but in case of the Poisson ratio negative, there will be compression.
Yeah, if anything it is happening compression, then compression both sides, correct? Longitudinal, lateral. If it is tensile, then tensile here also, tensile here also. Got it? Correct, na?
Yes,
So
sir,
my question is, but batao.
But the behavior for whatever the Poisson ratio negative, it will be just reverse of Poisson ratio that we talk about the positive.
For normally, if in one direction it is elongating,
It
other
will
direction
decrease.
is compressing. So
Yes.
for negative means if one direction is increasing, that other direction also increasing.
Yes.
Correct? Now my question is, यार ये कैसे हो सकता है यार कि मैंने किसी को खींचा वो इधर भी बढ़ा और भी बढ़ा. Generally, if I elongate here, so here it is elongating, but other direction it will be compressing. So how it is possible? For mu negative, here I am increasing, so here also it is increasing in lateral direction. तो ये तो वॉल्यूम कांस्टेंट नहीं रहा ना. हाँ, ये कैसे हो गया? गड़बड़ हो गई कुछ.
It depends upon it is the property of material which is due to the molecule get expand.
Okay, correct. Correct, Sonu. Actually, na volume is constant. That is for rigid body physics. SOM is not rigid body physics that we study in 11th class. SOM is a deformable physics. Here, volume can change, volume can increase, volume can decrease. So, if one thing is increasing here also, it can increase here also. The molecular arranges in such a way, the molecular arrangement is in such a way that if we are applying the force, then in this direction also the molecules are expanding, in this direction it is also expanding. Correct?
Yes.
What is the total number of elastic constants for orthotropic material?
9.
Total or independent? 9 is total or independent?
Independent.
I asked independent or total?
Total.
इसमें आवाज आ रही है ना?
Total.
Okay. So how many are total?
Sir, 27.
927. Okay. My last question. What in every chapter of SOM, it is written material is homogeneous isotropic, material is homogeneous isotropic, material is homogeneous isotropic. What is the difference between homogeneous material and isotropic material?
Sir, in case of isotropic material, considering a point, its property will be same at all directions when one point is considered. But when in case of homogeneous material, we have considered a single direction at different point at a single direction property will be.
Okay.
Sonu, how do you feel was your interview? आपको कैसा लगा?
Sir, it was quite a good interaction with you all, teacher, and especially to Avinav sir. It was asked a good question. I have make notes and I get revise of all the things because these are questions.
Suraj sir, Dheeraj sir ने बेकार क्वेश्चन पूछा है.
नहीं sir, you have asked a question that are generally exceptional. मतलब कि वो क्वेश्चन भूल जाते हैं लोग.
ठीक है, आपने यहाँ तो कह दिया ना, वहां पे मत कहना किसी एक मेंबर को कि आपने अच्छा पूछा और खासकर आपने ये कह दिया कि आपने अच्छा पूछा, चेयरमैन को कह दिया खराब पूछा, तो बस फिर.
Sir, they generally don't ask the feedback. Only one thing.
अच्छा, अब पूछ लिया तो फिर ये मत कहना कि सर यू जनरली डू नॉट आस्क द फीडबैक व्हाई यू आस्किंग. ठीक है, चलो जस्ट किडिंग. ओके, ओवर टू राकेश सर.
चलिए ठीक है. तो सोनू, आपका जो जनरल पार्ट था दैट इज ओके. योर कॉन्फिडेंस लेवल इन दैट पार्ट सीम्ड ओके टू मी. आपने जो अपनी हॉबीज लिखी उसके बारे में आप जस्टिफाइड आंसर दे पाए. ओके, यही कॉन्फिडेंस आपको रखना है. आपकी आवाज क्लैरिटी है. व्हाट अबाउट योर ड्रेसिंग? आप यही ड्रेस कोड फॉलो करने वाले हैं उस दिन?
सर, मैं सोच रहा हूँ कि अंदर व्हाइट शर्ट की जगह ब्लू शर्ट पहन, मतलब सोच रहा हूँ सर अगर चेंज कर.
वैसे ये ठीक लग रहा है, आप इसको ही मेंटेन रखे तो व्हाइट में. सिंपल सोबर, इट इज गिविंग द गुड अपीयरेंस. क्योंकि आपका
I have to change the color of tie, so I change to blue.
टाई कलर कर सकते हो, लेकिन अगर आपके सूट ब्लैक है तो शूज ब्लैक पे रखना. शूज भी ब्लैक रखना और सॉक्स ब्लैक या एनी डार्क कलर. सॉक्स भी प्रेफरेबली ब्लैक या कोई भी डार्क कलर ही रखना. ठीक है. इसके अलावा आप ये बताओ आपका इंटरव्यू है कब?
सर 9 अक्टूबर को।
9 अक्टूबर, ठीक है। और अभी आपने प्री और मेंस का कुछ एनालिसिस किया है?
सर मैंने सर प्री में 235 किया,
ठीक है,
अकॉर्डिंग टू वन ऑफ द कोचिंग, जो कि 50 मार्क्स कट ऑफ से ऊपर है मोस्ट प्रोबेबली।
ठीक है।
एंड मैंने सर मेंस में 600 का 600 टाइप किया।
600 कंप्लीट अटेम्प्ट किया है?
Because I have solved all the IFS, IAS, and IES mains question, and most of the question this time come from IFS, Indian Forest Service booklet. Because often I have 5 years of experience of engineering service, I came to know that oftenly randomly choose question from the previous things, like they choose optional question, civil service optional mechanical question came to the engineering service question. They interchange the question randomly, so this will be very beneficial for me at this time because I have solved all the three.
ग्रेट ग्रेट ग्रेट। तो ठीक है, मतलब अगर आपका इंटरव्यू सही जाता है, डिसेंट भी जाता है, तो पूरे पूरे मतलब चांसेस हैं कि आप सिलेक्ट हो।
Because this year the number of vacancy has been more in the last 4 years, because the minimum 57 vacancy has not come for the last 4 years in mechanical stream. So I think that even if I score, matlab as positive that I will score good in, but even if I score 100, I will definitely in.
ठीक है। सो ये तो बेसिक चीज थी जो मैंने बोली, कॉन्फिडेंस मुझे तो ठीक लगा, लेकिन अब टेक्निकली आप लोग कैसे थे और क्या आपने ब्लफ करने की कोशिश की कि नहीं, वो धीरज सर आपको थोड़ा सा और बेटर गाइड करेंगे। धीरज सर टेक्निकल एक बार आप बता दीजिए।
सोनू, आवाज आ रही है मेरी?
यस
Yes,
सर।
sir, you are
हाँ।
good.
सो सोनू, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, जैसे सर ने बताया कि विद नॉन टेक्निकल पार्ट यू आर लुकिंग मोर कॉन्फिडेंट देन द टेक्निकल पार्ट। और टेक्निकल में अगर मैं फ्रैंकली बोलूँ तो शायद 50-50 रहा। काफी जगह पर आपने आंसर या तो अधूरे किए या तो मतलब गलत किए हैं। तो थोड़ा सा उस पर ध्यान दीजिएगा। अगर आपको कोई चीज नहीं भी आती है तो इट वुड बी बेटर कि आप बोल दें कि आई डोंट नो अबाउट इट बट आई वुड लाइक टू ट्राई। ठीक है, तो उसके बाद आप अगर बताएंगे तो गलत भी बताते हैं तो उसका नेगेटिव इफेक्ट नहीं जाएगा। बाकी आपका प्रेजेंटेशन शुरू में जैसे आपने स्टार्ट किया, दैट वाज वेरी गुड, एकदम क्लियर सब कुछ बोला आपने, तो दैट वाज वेरी इम्प्रेसिव। तो वो सब अच्छा था, बट टेक्निकल में मुझे थोड़ी कमी लगी। ठीक है, और बाकी सूरज सर, अभिनव सर बता देंगे आपको।
सोनू, ये आपके जैसे ये कुछ बाल आगे हैं, कुछ बॉल पीछे हैं, ये पीछे क्यों है? इनको भी आगे ही कर दो एक साथ ही।
सर वो क्या कहते हैं, वो बाल ना आगे, वो सर अभी जब जाऊंगा ना तो
हाँ
वो
मतलब ठीक है, मतलब मैं ये कह रहा हूँ कि उस समय पे आप थोड़ा सा आप देख लेना इसको, है ना। बाकी
हाँ।
आपका सही है, चार्मिंग आप हैं, और आपको देख के पॉजिटिव वाइब्स आती है। क्वेश्चन वो फंसाए ट्रिकी पूछे, आपको उससे कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, क्योंकि आप कितने क्वेश्चन आप सही देंगे इस पे आपके पूरे मार्क्स डिपेंड नहीं करेंगे। मार्क्स इस पे भी डिपेंड करेंगे कि आपने जो नहीं भी दे पाए उनको एक आप प्रेशर में तो नहीं आए। जो आप, मेरे को लगा कि आप जो भी मैंने ट्रिकी क्वेश्चन पूछे आप प्रेशर में नहीं आए, है ना। कुछ ऐसे भी कैंडिडेट्स होते हैं कि 3-4 क्वेश्चन पूछते ही वो एकदम प्रेशर में आते हैं, और ऐसा प्रेशर में आते हैं कि उनकी पूरी वॉइस लो हो जाती है, और फिर आगे का पूरा इंटरव्यू उनका उतना एनर्जेटिक नहीं रहता, क्योंकि वो स्टक हो गए। आप में ये वाली पॉजिटिव थी कि वो क्वेश्चन के बाद भी आप वैसे ही पेस में रहे, उतनी एनर्जी में रहे जैसे पहले थे। ठीक है, तो बाकी अच्छा था, आपको देख के पॉजिटिव वाइब्स आती हैं। ओके, ओवर टू सूरज सर।
बिल्कुल। अब जैसे मैंने कैमरा के रिलेटेड इसलिए पूछ रहा था बिकॉज यू हैव रिटन इन दैट, तो इसलिए आई थॉट कि उसमें विल बी कंफर्टेबल। तो जब when we were transiting from non technical to technical, आपका जो एंथू था, एनर्जी था, that was almost same. That's a very good thing about yours. तो वो एक मेंटेन रखिए। एंड अबाउट फिजिकल अपीयरेंस परफेक्ट है, बताया भी था। एंड थोड़ा टेक्निकल को वो भी ब्रश अप की जरूरत है। ओवरऑल इज गुड, बट यू कैन हैव अ क्विक ब्रेक। देखो, यू कैन नॉट आंसर ऑल द क्वेश्चंस, दैट इज क्वाइट श्योर। वो ऐसे क्वेश्चन आपसे पूछेंगे वेयर यू विल बी स्टक। So you should be positive, you should be confident, and you can respond that I'm not. आप sorry बोल सकते हो, you can go for that. It will be a positive thing. उसको आप negative मत लीजिएगा. And I think you performed well. There's no problem with that.
थैंक यू।
ठीक है सोनू, तो आपको जिनसे आपकी बात हो रही थी हमारी टीम से, आप कोऑर्डिनेट कर लेंगे तो एक बार आपको वीडियो रिकॉर्डिंग।
व्हाट विल बी द मार्क्स?
मार्क्स वही कह रहा हूँ, वो आपको वीडियो रिकॉर्डिंग, ताकि आप पूरा इसका एनालिसिस कर सको अपने इंटरव्यू का, प्लस मार्क्स वो आपको पूरा सारा डिटेल्स दे देंगे।
Sir, one more thing I have to ask. Sir, there is a year gap for the fourth year. How I will justify? Should I have to tell that I have this year? Next year I will join MTech, and because my gate score is valid for the 3 year, if I am not able to convert, but this year I am too confident that I will be converted. So this would be the reason to justify. But as I have worked for an academy too, I will tell them. But for the last 2 years, I have not been a part of an academy.
21 से है ना, बट 2021 तक आपने अकेडमी में काम किया ना?
Yes.
देखो, एज लॉन्ग एज यू आर टेलिंग कि आपने इस बार अच्छा पूरा मेहनत लगाया है और आप पूरे कॉन्फिडेंट हो, तो मुझे नहीं लगता कि बहुत ज्यादा मैटर करेगा अगर वो लोग इसमें घुमाने की कोशिश भी करते हैं। तो आपको अपना जो आपका पैशन है कि आप क्यों इसमें जाना चाहते हो इंजीनियरिंग सर्विसेज में, ठीक है, और यहाँ पे आप अपने जैसे आपने कुछ ऑर्डर ऑफ प्रेफरेंस मैंने देखा था, आपने शायद सीपीडब्ल्यूडी भरा हुआ है सबसे पहले।
Yes, sir.
तो आपने ऑर्डर ऑफ प्रेफरेंस रखा है, आप उसकी तरफ भी इशारा कर सकते हो कि मैं यूपीएससी इंजीनियरिंग सर्विसेज इन पर्टिकुलर रीजन से सिलेक्ट कर रहा हूँ और मेरा कॉस्ट है समहाउ, मतलब मेरा ड्रीम है कि एट एनी कॉस्ट मुझे यहाँ पे पहुंचना है। तो आप उसको कॉन्फिडेंट रखना, अपने पैशन को यहाँ पे झलकाना और अपने फाइनल ड्रीम और विजन को झलकाना। यहाँ पे कंफ्यूज हो गए ना कि हाँ ठीक है गेट में हो गया तो ये देख लेंगे, वो वैसा कंफ्यूजन नहीं आना चाहिए, ठीक है। तो ईयर गैप मैटर नहीं करेगा
Sir, or
ईयर
shall
गैप देखो
I?
दो कारण से होता है ना। ईयर गैप कई बच्चों का इसलिए होता है कि यार रियली श्योर नहीं था करियर के बारे में, इसलिए आधा टाइम तो यहाँ पर डिविएट होते रहे, ठीक है। आप श्योर थे, ठीक है, आप एक बार प्रीलिम्स पे चले भी गए, सॉरी आप इंटरव्यू पे भी चले गए 2021, लेकिन फिर वो एचपीसीएल वाली स्टोरी बताई जो आपके साथ अनएक्सपेक्टेड चीज हो गई, नहीं तो शायद आप लास्ट ईयर ही क्रैक कर लेते। तो आपके सामने कुछ ऐसे इंस्टेंसेस हुई जो थोड़ी लॉजिकल है और जो आप उनको समझा सकते हो, बस उसको कॉन्फिडेंटली अपेयर करना है। मुझे लगता है आप कॉन्फिडेंटली बोल दोगे जैसा मुझे लगा इंटरव्यू में।
Yes,
सो नॉट अ बिग कंसर्न।
sir, or shall I schedule one more mock because my the date of interview has been scheduled on 9 September final. In between, I have a 14 days gap. So 13 September, should I schedule one more mock? Which follow?
13
So that 30 September.
30 सितंबर
कर सकते हैं।
कर सकते हैं। एक बार टीम से कोऑर्डिनेट कर लीजिए, स्लॉट्स आर अवेलेबल, यू कैन डेफिनेटली।
Okay.
ठीक है, आपको ना एक मेल आएगा सोनू रिकॉर्डिंग के लिए, आप एक्नॉलेज कर देना, उसमें एक्नॉलेज होके तभी वो रिकॉर्डिंग भेजेंगे, है ना, क्योंकि अदरवाइज मे बी वो रिकॉर्डिंग वो आपका सही मेल है कि नहीं है, किसी और को आपकी रिकॉर्डिंग नहीं चल जाए, तो आप एक्नॉलेज उसको कर देना, ठीक है।
Okay, sir.
ओके सोनू, ऑल द बेस्ट।
Thank you.